for the thumbnail.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
My name is Patrick. Some of you may know me as fluently aspec, pronouns he, him.
And then my name's Winter, pronouns she, they.
And this is our first time actually meeting in person, but we've been friends for over a year now.
Yep, that's about it. So today we're here to talk a little bit about our experiences as being aroace, and also about my new song, which can kind of tie into being asexual, because, you know, I try to put that perspective in my music because it's very important that we get that representation, and it starts with you.
Absolutely. I identify as asexual and aromantic. I do use a micro label for my aromantic identity, but not for my asexual one. I use QPO romantic, which, for those that don't know, that means that I don't experience romantic attraction, or little to no romantic attraction, but I do still desire a romantic relationship.
Nice. So me, I kind of keep things on the general side. I felt like it was a little bit anxiety-inducing to find micro labels for myself, so I just stick with the general asexual. So that just means that I experience little to no sexual attraction. One thing that I think is very important to emphasize with that experience is that it's not coming from a place where I hate sex. It's not it. I'm not generally attracted to people in that sense. And my romantic attraction has always just been a question mark, so I'm just going to leave it as that. The thing about that is that I didn't really have a language to describe it. I know from a younger age, maybe 8 and younger, it was more of a performance to me. So it's more of, well, I see all of these people saying that I'm supposed to want like a boyfriend or whatever, so maybe I should try my hand at that. And I did. I definitely do not recommend unless you truly feel like that is for you. But as I got older, it was just a general disinterest, and people definitely picked up on that. They're like, so you were obsessed when you were 6, so what happened? I'm just like, grew out of it. So when I was maybe 15, I heard of the word asexual before, and it made sense to me, but I was under the impression that it's just like, I mean, I don't generally feel any preference to anyone, so I must be straight. No.
Yeah. I went through the mental gymnastics of getting math involved.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the phase in high school where I thought, well, I don't feel any different between guys and girls, so maybe that means that I'm bi.
Right.
And I vividly remember a friend of mine posting on MySpace at the time that they were bi, and I felt like maybe that could make sense for me, because 0 is equal to 0, right? But definitely not. And I always kind of had a difficult time explaining what I was experiencing and understanding. I always thought that the things we see in movies and TV shows is just for dramatic effect, and it's over the top for the audience. I didn't realize that for a lot of people, those things are real. So I didn't really figure things out until I was 28, at least not for asexuality. And then aromanticism, I still didn't figure out for another 2 years. Because being QPO romantic, one of the hard things about it is you still do want a relationship. So it's hard to separate the attraction from the desire of a relationship. So I kind of always combined the two and thought, I want a relationship, so I must be attracted to someone, and it didn't ever happen for me. I had relationships. They didn't work out. I only had one that ever lasted over 4 months. But once I figured it out, a lot of things started to fall into place.
Oh. Well, would you say that that's something that you would hope still kind of happens? Maybe there's, from your experiences before, you know that there are certain parameters that need to be met going into the next one, if that's what you would like. Is it more like internally I desire the closest connection with someone and I'd like to do that, or is it just something outside of your control?
I think what I would like, now that I have more language at my disposal and more of an understanding of aromantic terminology, I would like a QPR, and maybe with someone who's a little more willing to do some of the cliche romantic stuff, because I still do really like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do like kissing and cuddling. I don't really care for the big extravagant parts, but the low-key just personal connection stuff, I'm all for that. So if I
don't
could
be
find
showing
that,
up buying you a Rolls Royce or nothing like that.
No, no.
I'm sure that would be a nice gift though.
That would be a great, yeah. But...
Just don't tell anybody that you want it, keep it on the deal.
Yep, exactly.
I have a couple. I am heavily influenced by emo music. So for me,
It's more of the songs where the person is far away, and you still do want them. Like "Hey There, Delilah" by Plain White T's is one that I've always loved.
A classic.
Yes, that's probably my go-to.
All right.
How about you?
Cool. This is hard. So like, I grew up with the classic late 90s, 2000s R&B, so it's pretty much all of it is either really, really like raunchy or I just miss you. So I'd say pretty much anything Alicia Keys.
There you go.
And then, what was the name of the other song? Shoot, I'm blanking on the name of it. And I can't be without you, baby. I'm gonna remember the title of it. It's Mary J. Blige, but it's... Bruh. I swear, they're gonna take my black card, dude. Hey, edit in the name of the song for me. Thank you. Alright, I got my black card back.
Nice. You actually just reminded me of something in there that you said, of another one that's big for me. "I Miss You" by Blink-182.
I have not heard that. I'm not a huge Blink-182 person.
I love it for the memes, because Tom from Blink-182 has this weird way of singing, where I refer to it as he throws his voice. So when he says, like the line, "Where are you?" he goes, "Where are you? Where are you?" And it's just weird, and I love it, because it's just so, when I hear a Blink song and then it goes to his part, I'm just, "Where are you?"
Like that's the moment.
There he is.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I kind of do have a song kind of like that, and this is not an extra plug, I just thought of it. So my song, it has explicit words. Pretty much "F You" is the name of the song, and it wasn't about a romantic relationship, but I think that people would definitely relate to it because it's about a person who's supposed to be very close to you, always there for you, and they're just not. So I think that one will definitely resonate with people if they've ever heard it before.
And I wanted to talk about that through an aspec lens.
Okay, cool.
So the first one that I wanted to talk about is your song "Spinnin'." The line, "I lay up every night and I'm thinking about my future."
Yeah, so that one was written by my friend, the boy Kent. He was one of my first international features. He's originally from South Africa, so we couldn't actually get together to write that song, but I had seen his stuff on Repost Exchange. If you've never heard of it before, Repost Exchange is basically like a social media outside of SoundCloud, so that you can just be like, "Hey, I think you'd really like this song," and then maybe the person listens to it and reposts it. So yeah, I met a whole bunch of people through that exchange, but he really stuck out to me because he has a very interesting sound, and he's also very explorative with his lyrics, because I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it, but it's really saturated with a lot of just sexual feelings, and there's not much past that. So that really stuck out to me with Kent. But that one is really talking about just the way that you know in your heart that things will work out for you, especially with the economy the way it is, and it kind of feels like it's more global of a problem too. You know, you won't be able to buy a house in the next 10 years. You probably won't be able to afford kids. You might not even be able to pay to like take care of yourself. So I think it really hits home for a lot of people, even not in like my age group, like 20 somethings or whatever. It's just knowing in your gut that you will be okay, but it's just looking at the circumstances, it's not exactly hopeful, and that's kind of what the song is all about. It's just being in this cycle of saying, you know what, I'll just try this, it might work, it might not, and then it doesn't, and then you're just like, well, when does it start to work then?
Yeah, and I think I connected to it through an aspec lens of thinking about my future and that occasional feeling that aspec people sometimes get about their future and the am I going to be lonely forever
sort
of thing. I recently made a video that it was for New Year's. Talked about how you might be seeing a lot of posts about wedding announcements, baby announcements coming this new year, and you have so much to be excited about too. You've got all these amazing things on the horizon for you too. And I posted it also to Threads. I thought I wrote down the word, but if you go to Acedad's Threads account, they re-threaded it? I don't know what the word is yet. If there's a thing for that yet. But there's actually a term for that phenomenon. Sort of like a mononormativity and what all that is, which for those that don't know what a mononormativity is, that is the condition of society that we should all expect that we are going to have a sexual romantic relationship. And there's a version of that where we have these expectations of our future and what our path is supposed to be, and the missing outness. There's actually a word for it. Future Patrick is going to put this in the captions once he figures out what the term is, because I apologize, I already forgot. But shout out to our good friend Cody, Acedad, for bringing that up.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. I know, I'm still pretty young. I turned 23 today, but...
And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you for that. But, I didn't actually start dating for real till I was 19 or 20. And even when I was in high school or younger, they're like, well, you don't want to be leaving school before you get dates and whatnot. And they weren't all bad, but it's just... And I think this can apply to people who are aroace or not, just taking things at your own pace, because everyone else isn't going to live your life. It's just you. You can cut off everybody else, and you're going to have to live with the experiences that you had, regardless of who's still around in your life. So just being able to recognize what you want. If you don't know what you want, that's okay. But just being very careful about people's feelings as well, I think is something that's very important to remember when you're navigating that journey.
Awesome. There was another line that I jotted down from spinning. If I play my cards right, my feelings won't get hurt.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah. And this one was more about friends, but since I am ace, this one does directly tie into this. My friendships and my romantic relationships share equal importance. So I had a falling out with a friend a year ago, and I was definitely depressed about it. Even though I had my partner right now to be able to talk about it, it doesn't really matter that much that you still have this one person, yeah, but then this other person who is really important to me is gone. So it doesn't really matter the hierarchy. It's just the fact that, you put so much work into a relationship, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But, going back into it can be really, really difficult, because you want to be careful that you're not looking for qualities of the person that you lost, because this is a new person. They deserve a fresh start. But also, where was I even going with it? I was on a roll. You know what? That's profound enough.
Yes.
Skin